The reasons that California voters should recall Gavin Newsom. I personally left California 2.5 years ago for good. I grew up in the state. I graduated from their prized University of California system. Growing up, the state stood for innovation and freedom. Now, today, it's ultra-regulation. It's woke. The highest taxes in the nation. Emptied jail cells of violent criminals. And massive, massive amounts of homelessness. Since coming into office, Governor Gavin Newsom has exacerbated these trends and is currently facing a potential recall effort that is gaining rapid momentum. I'm going to make a case as to why I think you'll be better off either signing the petition, that is, of course, if you're a resident of California, or at least encouraging people who you know who might reside in state to do so. I'm also going to be doing a breakdown of a recent interview that Gavin Newsom did with Kara Swisher of the New York Times in September in an effort to document how the man thinks and the sheer stupidity involved in some of his answers. Now, if you like this video, if you know someone in California, then please share the video with them so that they're aware of the recall effort and maybe they can sign on. And that is with the hopes that it will give California a brighter future. And by all means, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you do, and also have fun smashing that like button. It is appreciated, truly. Smash the like button. California is in uncharted waters. It has recently lost big business and notable earners who have moved to cheaper states. And these are longtime huge businesses. We're talking about Hewlett-Packard, pretty much the founder, the first entrant into Silicon Valley. We're talking about Oracle and newcomer superstar Tesla and Elon Musk. This is all on Gavin Newsom's watch. He has also declared California to be a sanctuary state, which gives illegal aliens coming from all around the southern hemisphere and Mexico more rights than my Canadian wife did when we entered into the country and were promptly given das Boot and forced to do our immigration from abroad. Now, that's our personal struggle, but I don't see why other people just get sanctuary. Gavin Newsom also decided to give free health care to illegal aliens, while the average citizen of California struggles mightily to pay those hefty medical bills. This is all coming out of our taxes. So the struggles that we have in terms of paying the high California taxes are going to pay for their medical, and they're not even residents, legal citizens of the United States. I don't like that either. That's on Gavin Newsom. The wildfires that burned earlier this year. Okay, Newsom's not responsible for the lightning strikes, the dry lightning that struck the state, that set everything ablaze, but what he is responsible for is the utter mismanagement of the forest. Because you allowed that dry kindling, all that natural stuff that wasn't cleared out, no fire lanes created. And by not clearing out the forest floor, hey, everything just went ablaze. Poof! That just acted as the fuel. And who is responsible for this? It's the ideology that everything should be just left alone, not what works. And this is the supermajority Democrats and their governor that, again, are directly at fault. And how about those power outages? Again, this is total mismanagement. Gavin is more interested in PG&E having a woke workplace and diversity demands than actual competence. And that showed up. They're not able to keep on the power. They have increased regulatory burdens that make it really difficult to comply with all the mandates that the legislatures are continually changing in order to provide a certain percentage of green energy, which is sold from out of state rather than coming from within state. In addition to that, he has planned to close the nuclear reactors that are within California that are supplying 10% of the energy. Now, he wants to replace this with unreliable or less reliable green energy or something that leaves a carbon footprint. And the whole point of it, nuclear energy releases no carbon dioxide. Yet you want to get rid of 10% of your electrical supply, clean electricity, at least in terms of carbon footprints, while you cannot even keep the power on for your citizens. This is terrible management. This is terrible leadership, once again, by Gavin Newsom. In terms of the COVID response, continued lockdowns, time and time again, and small businesses have been decimated. All those restaurants that have been forced to close, those mom and pop shops that have had their business siphoned off to Walmart, to Home Depot, to Amazon, who of course are deemed to be essential. All the lives, the investment, the time, rotting on the vine because of the arbitrary and capricious mandates of the state. Now, to put that in contrast, let's examine Gavin Newsom's decision to attend a dinner in Napa Valley at the most expensive, or one of them, expensive restaurants in the world, the French Laundry, where his group of 6 households racked up a $15,000 bar bill alone. And that, of course, goes with the ultra pricey $350 a plate meal, which brought the total to more than $1,000 per person. All this while COVID restrictions allowed only 3 households to meet. Worse, Newsom originally stated, when asked when he was caught, that it was an outdoor restaurant. Of course, actual evidence proves that to be yet another gruesome Newsom lie. That's right, while your businesses were going under, while Newsom and the Democrats kept your children home from school and demand that you follow COVID lockdown protocols, he openly flouts his own mandated guidelines, and then he lies to the public. He's a total hypocrite. Oh, and guess what? His winery in Napa, California, it remains open. Naturally, while everybody else who's trying to grind out a living in the restaurant industry is shut down. Once again, the man is a complete and total hypocrite. It's the elite. It's rules for thee, but not for me. And this is what Newsom represents. Truly, he does. That makes him actually a bad person. He wants you to shut down. He wants you to be miserable, but the rules don't apply to him. And then we have to examine business. Business in the state is going downhill. As I mentioned earlier, Hewlett-Packard, Oracle, Tesla, they're the ones that are fleeing the state. Why? I can tell you why. Partly it's because the regulations are so deep and onerous for employers, and they favor the employees so greatly. I have a friend who has a small business in Southern California, and he caught some of his employees on camera stealing. He fired them. Should be the end of story. Perfectly justified reason. But no, because of the laws, they were able to sue him, and because it would have cost him more to take it into court, he just shelled out $10,000 to several of them in different times because it was cheaper to do so, and for him it was about the bottom line. And who can blame him for moving? Who can blame him for packing everything up like those other big businesses have and just skipping out on the state? You take a look. You have Ben Shapiro. He took his business and he moved. You have high earners. You have Elon Musk, who took his billions of dollars and moved them out of state to Texas. You have Joe Rogan. He took his $100 million Spotify contract to Austin. You have me. I don't make as much money as those guys, but I found the taxes to be so high, I decided that, hey, I want to put that money back into my pocket and be able to provide for my family better rather than having it going to the university system, where today the prices have risen because they are employing $300,000 a year diversity and equity counselors. For what? What good do they do the students? Yet this is tacked on to the student debt. And you want me to feel sorry for Governor Gavin Newsom? You don't think that he deserves to be recalled for upping the cost while lowering the tax base by sending people afar? California has raised taxes on the ultra elite to up to something like 15 point something percent. So that's in addition to the 10% base. Then it goes up another 5%, let's say. It might be another 6. And you want them to stay paying all these federal income taxes, and you want them to stay put when they can do the same business from somewhere else. The advantages that California has, the weather, the beauty, which it has in spades, it's a magnificent state in those regards. At some point, the equation becomes weighted towards the other direction, where it's certainly worth it to take the bullet, to spend all that time packing, all that wasted money, and just do it, because in the end, it works out for you economically, and there are other beautiful places to live. This is what people in California who are so arrogant don't understand. Gavin Newsom you'll see in a second, he asks, where else are you going to go? Well, we'll find out where else you're going to go. And then you have the homelessness, the massive surge in homelessness throughout the state. Once again, on Newsom's watch, it existed before, but it's been absolutely exacerbated since he got into office because they offer no remedies. It's completely hands off. They are making the life unlivable in Los Angeles. When we were there and we came back from a year abroad, my wife was pushing our baby stroller along, and a man came with his hands down his pants, muttering, clearly high on something. She's been yelled at. She just got scared. It was too much. That is definitely part of the equation in terms of moving. This is a governor who is objectively not doing his job because everything is being weighted one way. In addition to his total hypocrisy and his lack of leadership in terms of following his own protocols. The man is not a good person, as far as I can tell. It's in his policies, it's in his actions, it's in the wokeness that they are trying to deploy statewide, including trying to getting rid of the Civil Rights Bill, which would allow for discrimination in jobs. And guess which way it's going to go? It's going to go the minority way. But what he doesn't understand is that that would allow white people to be racist too, according to the law. It's bad for everybody. Everything that comes out of his office is an abject failure, including his dinner at the French Laundry in Napa, California. It was outside though, wasn't it, Gavin? Pictures show otherwise. And that is why you should be recalled. Guys, spread this video around. Let people know that this is an option. Most people aren't even aware of it. And let's get him where he belongs, which is back at his winery, enjoying a drunken state. Peace and blessings. If you're new, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Once again, share the video, thumb it up. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.